And Ibrahim, how are you? He says, following from Qatar. Hey there. And Cindy says, Donovan, New York laws are different. Rockefeller's laws, nothing to do with the 94 crime bill.
Right, yeah. Nelson Rockefeller, who's he referring to?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother. But what I'm saying is...
Hey, Tony.
That bill, that Biden thing, I mean, we got to question that. I mean... people ask us questions like, why, did he put anybody innocent? We just told you.
Okay, so Al has a good question. He says, so why don't y'all talk about the candidate y'all will vote for rather than to put the others down? Okay, so first, before Donovan pounces on this one.
No, go ahead.
First, I would like to just address the fact that when you are dissecting and disseminating information, we need to change how we look at it. It's not that we're putting them down. We are putting forth information that people need to know. And so I apologize that if you think that us giving information that people need to know is putting them down, that's really a kind of an odd way to look at it. But no, we're just telling people what they need to know.
Well, let me add this to you real quick. How many times have you heard when we tell people information? Okay, it's almost like the Mueller report. What was that lady? I didn't know that I'm so shocked that there was anything negative about the president. Well, if you read the report, you would know there's 10 objects of obstruction in there.
Right.
People don't read because I know people are living lives and stuff like that. We're just putting this information out there. If you want to research it, research. But what do we say all the time, D? Don't listen to what we say. Research what we're saying.
But no, it's not putting Joe Biden down. So who would we vote for? I'm still undecided because I'm still going through a lot of information. See, I'm past the point of when I first voted in the presidential election when I was 21 because that's when I was of age to do so for Bill Clinton. See, I'm 48 now, so I've evolved from the point of just going into the booth because everybody else is going there to do what's popular. I've learned to take in information to see what's best for me. And
vote your interests.
What's best for black people. And so I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet. There's some people who look interesting to me, but I do know right away it won't be Trump, Biden, who else? There's a whole host of them out there, Kamala, Corey, who else is not getting my vote?
There's a bunch. Buttigieg.
Yeah, a lot of the cat in Texas, O'Rourke.
Yeah.
He's not getting my vote. So honestly,
what about me? I put my ring in.
Yeah, Donovan looks good, but Yang looks good to me. Elizabeth Warren looks interesting.
Yeah, but she ain't getting my vote. So let me answer that real quick. I'm going to tell you who you should vote for, but not who you should vote for. I'm going to tell you who I'm going to vote for. One thing I'm not going to vote for is a person who doesn't specifically address black issues and reparations. If you're not talking reparations, you're not getting my vote. And everybody knows I was a big Bernie supporter. He's not getting my vote. I still support him, but he's not getting my vote. Right now, for Donovan, my big thing is Andrew Yang. Does he have a chance in hell of winning? Most likely not, but I like his platform.
Got it. Okay, and so Cindy says that machine you're talking about, D, is why Weinstein is going to jail. So you think he is going to jail?
I don't think he's going to go to jail.
And Cindy says why Amazon left New York. Okay, so you guys, I apologize. I'm freezing up a little bit, but I have notifications that's coming in, so sometimes it does that. So I apologize. And Sammy says New York had a lot of those cases of police misconduct against black people. Eleanor Bumpers, I think, Abadi, I know who you're talking about. Diallo. That was the young man. Was he shot like 40-something times in front of his house? Tawana Brawley, etc. I remember listening to the discussion of them on Night Talk, hosted by, hosted by one of our finest minds, Mr. Bob Law. Okay. And then Cindy says the system is broken, but it has nothing to do with crime bills. Okay, so he's basically saying that sticking, and I think this is what you're saying, sticking Biden to the crime bill is not enough to be against Biden. Also,
well, for me, I have a lot of relatives that have been dogged out by that crime bill, and I'm not going to support somebody who unjustly destroyed my family or and did what they did. So.
And Michael says there's plenty more of these cases unsolved now. Hopefully this hype won't stop after this documentary gets old. We have to demand those who assist in these type of injustices be held legally and financially accountable. And he says hashtag CP5 will spark the revolution. And that's Central Park 5. I really hope so, because, there's a lot of people who are just they're like, if you thought you were upset back then, the way Ava DuVernay depicted this documentary, oh my God, it's so bone-chilling. So bone-chilling. It's crazy. And Arson says, when the parole board was questioning the kid, it was not just about him admitting and accepting he had been found guilty by law, but actually about him committing the crime. Don't want to block Arson. By committing the crime he'd been accused of, the very same pressure they were under before being sentenced and continuing. Yes, they just wanted them to admit to doing something they didn't do. And Ron says, Joe Biden, plain and simple. Okay. And hey, Dwight, yes, we are live. Is we live? And Ron says, don't be confused. God is not confusion. Joe Biden. Well, I mean, we're not confused, but what does God have to do with Joe Biden? I mean, what doesn't God ask us to use wisdom and knowledge? And so because I agree, God is not the author of confusion, but he also tells us to use wisdom and knowledge. So, I mean, that's what we're doing, right? That's what you're supposed to do. And unfortunately, this is kind of, no shade to us as black people, but that's kind of how we end up getting duped. People say, oh, this is good for you. Oh, it is. Oh, and then we throw little God into it. And you got Democrats, God, and black people. There's just no change in our minds. Joe Biden took his ass to churches in South Carolina and Watusi'd his ass all the way through up and down the aisles. And all of a sudden, oh, Joe Biden, go Joe.
Generation fails, totally behind him. But here's the thing. Okay, so if God is backing Joe Biden, how did Trump get to where he's at?
Yeah, because he's got a lot of evangelicals on his team.
No. I'm just saying, if this is a God thing, why did God give me a good loving Christian, all us good loving Christian folks, this guy to lead this country?
Right. We're going to leave it at that.
Okay, let's leave it at that.
Okay, and then Hannah says, no one has given me a reason to support that. I know Trump is the devil. Who are you for and why? Hannah, they never give a reason to vote for Biden. Never. The only reason they give is, because we got to get rid of Trump.
You need better than that. I'm sorry.
And it is not, black people's not our responsibility to get rid of Trump. We didn't put Trump there. If you ask me, you think you guys need to go speak to them white women who lied and said they was going to vote for Hillary and they didn't. They voted for Trump.
The same white women.
It's not our job.
The same white women that tell black women, you don't need no man, while 70% of them are married and 70% of black women ain't.
He says, Donovan and Demetra K, it is choppy during Al's comment. And I'm sorry about that because people are sending me notifications and jacks up my thing. But what I was saying to Al was basically don't think that because we are dissecting and disseminating information that we're talking down to these people. People need to know these things. Like, I guarantee you, all the people that took their ass off of Jim Jones to Guyana, if they had somebody like me and Donovan pulling their coattail, their ass wouldn't have drank no Kool-Aid.
Well, at least some of them wouldn't have.
We would have saved a lot of people. But you have to, now you're talking down on Jim Jones. He just trying to give you Jesus. And your niggas is hate. I mean, so I'm just saying, at some point in time, we got to stop looking at that as, you're just being negative. No, we keeping it real.
Right, and we keep challenging you. Don't listen to what we're saying. Research it.
Do the research.
Do the research. If you don't like what we're saying, I guarantee you, everything that we're saying, when everything Demetra says is backed up by fact. Everything that I say, I got some cooning in there, so I got to do it.
Yeah, I had to eat his lunch the other day. I had to eat Donovan's lunch the other day for cooning. You says Warren. She's voting for Warren. And Hush says, talking about the police, let's not forget that the LAPD and their crash unit, Rampart Division, beat up and jailed all kinds of people.
For nothing.
When it got exposed, they had to go over 44,000 cases. Remember that? I mean, they were killing people.
Right.
Just the whole
taking evidence lockers and putting stuff on people. So we're talking about innocent people here. The
77th precinct.
Man.
And Dwight says Elizabeth Warren, Michael Bullock, and Michael Bennett.
Yeah, okay.
I two of those people I'm not even familiar with at all.
I honestly, Michael Bennett's the governor of Colorado. I know that for a fact.
And Cindy says, I might vote for Gillibrand, Jr., Senator of New York. Yeah, I've heard some things about her.
Yeah, but you got to remember, think about it, 26 and counting Democratic hopefuls. They're doing that to keep Bernie from getting the nomination. You guys got to remember, there are more millennials who know nothing. I'm with you guys, young and dumb, that are going to vote for Bernie. And they don't want that. I've said it over and over again. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party are the same party. Ask yourself this, if you're a Democrat out there. Mueller has come out and said, here is the evidence. Congress, take it from here. What's your girl Nancy saying? All these people now are coming out saying, start the process.
They're not interested. The Democrats.
No, she's not interested because she's
the Democrats aren't interested.
And the reason she says that is because, and she should keep her post, is because she says, I raise a lot of money. That's her justification for being the speaker.
Okay.
Think about it.
And Sydney says, we might have to fire Donovan. Oh, what did Donovan do? And Hannah says, Cory Booker turned me off after he voted down a prescription bill that would allow us to shop outside the U.S. to get better prices. And he was my mayor. Yeah,
Why did Cory Booker do that? Look at where he gets his money.
He's getting paid from the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah. And so Samuel says, information is bringing truth to a situation. The Bible says, y'all shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. It also says, my people are dying for a lack of knowledge.
Wow, that sounds like you.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I want to wait till I'm done freezing here.
Yeah.
Yes. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And as my dad always adds, because a lot of people negate that other part, and their rejection of truth.
Truth.
People give you the knowledge, but you don't want it. Because that means you have to really get to thinking for yourself. Oh, Joe Biden is not who I thought he was going to be. Joe Biden is... What? No, he's not. And we're telling you that, but yet people want... But to Hannah's point, tell us why he should be the president. Why does he deserve your vote? Don't tell us because of Trump.
Right.
Tell us why Biden deserves your vote.
Right. We had a black president. We voted...
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse.
A lot of us voted because he was black. What did Obama do for black people specifically? Zero.
Right. And then Ron says Central Park was a long time ago.
And?
It was 30 years ago this year. Yeah. But, I mean, those boys are still suffering the effects. I'm going to tell you something. Because, see, this is the thing. What difference does it make? Emmett Till was a long time ago. Does it make it right? His accusers still walking and breathing life.
Martin Luther King was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. But do you know that Corey Wise... The boy that spent the longest time in prison was sent to Rikers Island as a 16-year-old boy as an adult. They sentenced that boy as an adult. While he was there for 13 years, he was raped, stabbed, beaten, jumped, starved. The whole host of things for something this boy. And you know what? And the cool part about it is, Corey wasn't even originally on the list. He went down there to support his friend because it says your mom is going to want to know where you're at, so I'm going to come with you. He's sitting in the waiting room, and then they wrestle him up in a mess.
Right.
And he ended up doing the longest time in prison for something he wasn't even originally implicated in. So when you say that was a long time ago, tell that to that man who suffered all those horrors over a lie. Tell that to him.
Wait, well, what's the difference between that and slavery? That was a long time ago, too.
Slavery was a long time ago. Jim Crow wasn't that, some people probably say it's still going on. But, I mean, so do we just say, forget about it?
Yeah, forget it. Let's move on.
I know where you're going with that. Oh, well, Joe did that in the past, but we're still, as we are with slavery and all the other stuff, still suffering the effects of the things that he did. It's just a fact. And so
they have said it's going to take us 250 years to catch up to white wealth, and we are still falling behind today.
Because we still keep taking our ass in the booth and voting for people who do not have our better interests. And Sydney says, actually telling Donovan about the laws on this city, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm learning a lot. I am learning a lot. And, trust me.
Oops.
I'm jotting down notes, my man.
Who's blocking folks? I'm not blocking people. No, Ron, what I said was, I'm not blocking people. What happens is sometimes when I click on the link or I try to see more of the comment, a thing will come up that gives you options like to block somebody, whatever. And I'm not trying to do that. So that's what I said. Oh, I'm not trying to block Sydney. Right. So no, I never block anybody on here unless they just getting real dumb. So no, that's not my intentions. Yeah. So sorry for the misunderstanding. I'm sorry for the glitches.
Demetria gets a lot of messages in here.
I'm not blocking people. And Dwight says, where do you all live? Because it might not matter if you do not live in Philadelphia, Miami.
No, Michigan, Wisconsin,
Miami, Iowa, and Ohio, maybe Florida. We live in California.
Yeah, and to his point, you're right. California doesn't matter because we're a strong, stupid Democratic state.
We vote blue all the time.
Yeah,
but
it's blue all the time.
Just to reiterate that, I'm not blocking people. Yeah, no. So that probably came over like that because of the glitching. But no, I'm not blocking people. So I don't. Anyway, Cindy says, I'm waiting to see Howard Beach documentary.
Another good documentary.
That was that about like the mob of refresh our memory on that one. Okay, let's see. And Ron says, where is your wisdom in tearing down the Dems? Well,
we're not tearing down. We're stating facts.
Hold on, partner. I'm asking you, Ron, because obviously you're this big time Democrat. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that.
You can.
But name me one major stride that the Democrat Party has done for black people since 1965. When the Voters' Rights Bill was crafted for black people. What major stride has the Democrats did for black people? That's all I want to know.
It.
Okay, and Linda, you're laughing. Then Charles says, well, I'm putting down black, we way behind. Well, I'm putting down black persons that foolishly support the Democrat Party. They still think the Democrat Party supports black people's rights, equality, when they are just as racist as the Republican. Let's see, just as racist. Oops. That's a long comment.
Go ahead,
as a Republican, I will be voting for whoever fights for a Green New Deal. I will be voting for the unapologetically progressive candidate. I will vote for Bernie Sanders, but the Democrat establishment will probably lead me to vote for the Green Party candidate here on the Maryland ballot. We should also work to break up this corporation party, Republican, the Democrat stronghold, controlled opposition paid to lose every 8 years.
Yes, see, he understands it. They're the same party.
Ron, what am I a puppet of? I'm asking you. Because, I don't mind you calling me names and stuff, but I want you to call me names with some, with like information behind it. Because it's easy to call us names, but tell me why I'm a puppet, first of all. And then also tell me what the Democrat Party has done for black people. I think those are simple questions. We need to get out of the habit of demonizing each other because we don't agree. I have a right to not agree with you as a Democrat.
And vice versa.
I'm nonpartisan. I don't belong to either party, but what I am going to do is do my research. And so if you're going to call me a puppet, at least back it up. And y'all says it's not about Democrat or Republican. It's about their record.
Yes.
Right. And then he says, stop tap dancing, Ma. Okay, you know what, Ryan? Until you can come with some civility and some, how can I say this? Some civility and some common sense and just some respect, then I'm going to stop addressing your comments. And Linda says, let's see. What does God have to do with it? Christians, absolutely. All right, what does God have to do with any of this?
There is a lot of woke people on your feed.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean?
There is, but I almost got into the...
Yeah,
but and then he says, don't run with me mentioning God. That was my point. I'm way behind it. The White says the electorate is 15% black and 33% are young people from 18 years of age to 34.
Correct.
And Yah says, yes. Oops. Yes, it is our responsibility because they are coming for us. Absolutely. And Linda says, well, that's true. And you also say Jim Jones was the epitome of evil. Can't people, so many black men and women were, and folks believe that man to be crazy. So I guess you were saying, and if I can paraphrase your comment, that it was a lot of us that went. It was like he took a lot. This is a white man that took a lot of black people to Guyana. They sold the properties and gave them all this money, and they jumped on the plane and went to this property in Guyana and ended up drinking some cyanide-laced Kool-Aid because nobody wanted to talk down on Jim Jones or tell people the truth. And a lot of those people probably wouldn't have heard the truth anyway. But damn, like my mom used to say, nothing beats a fail but a try. And then you said in women folk, yeah, well, come on, Linda. We know who's up in the church. It's a lot of black women in the church. It's just the truth. It was that way in the 70s and it's that way now. And Cindy says, I had enough. I am starting a petition to fire Donovan. And Linda says, not Bernie. And Ron says,
I need the job, brother. I need the job.
He says, don't waste your time. We need someone to fast track us back to building a strong America. Well,
okay, who?
It's going to be Joe Biden.
Right, who? Then tell us
who. And Cindy says, Sanders had no choice. Yah says, Republican and Democrats are the same. They are similar, but they are not the same. Okay, and Dwight says, Michael Bullock, governor of Wyoming, and Michael Bennet, senator of Colorado.
Right.
Okay.
They said governor.
He says, I noticed a lot of people that were riding hard for Bernie have now changed positions and are going hard for Biden. I don't understand these black Biden supporters. Biden isn't for us. You keep telling them.
Hello.
And then Cindy says Booker lost his city in the Senate race. And he also says, Donovan, the technical issues are on your engineer. So you talking about actually it's not on Donovan for whatever reason. And this phone is not technically on, but it's hooked to the internet. I don't know why, I'm still getting notifications and different things like that. So I have to try to fix that.
Yeah, it's probably because you're logged into your Google accounts and stuff like that.
So I have to log out of that.
Yeah.
And then Dwight says, not really. Central Park 5 is history, awful ordeal. Absolutely. And Tay says, those boys of Central Park 5 are deeply traumatized for the entire situation. I don't care if it was 100 years ago or 10 minutes ago. We should not let this go. Absolutely. And Sydney says, tell us New York residents that too. Get it talking to you, Ron. And Dwight says, Jim Crow ended in early 70s. Recent ordeal. We are not catching up to no wealth. It is done. And Donald says, it's Facebook destroying your message. And I hope that it's not doing that now. I apologize for that. And Dwight says, California is a great place to live in the United States of America. Come to Texas and fight for the Democrats. I'll probably be in Texas one day. And speaking of California, we had like 15 earthquakes in the last 2 days.
Yeah, last 2 days, yep.
Al says a chopped beef sandwich, watching the choppy segments, whatever, y'all. You know what? Just keep on watching. And Ron says, I work on Rikers Island. It was a bad situation. Wow. Let's not get stagnated by dwelling on these things when we have to win offices to bring these agendas to the forefront and initiate policy to change. You said to change so that we don't have to see our children have to deal with these issues of our past. Yeah, well, there's just some things that we should never forget in the Central Park 5. Case is one of them. In addition to a whole host of other things, we should never forget. But we need to put people in office that's going to actually help us.
Right, Ron. Real quick, we have these people in Congress known as the Congressional Black Talkers. The number 3 guy in the Congress is Mr. Jimbo Clyburn. Okay,
is that his name?
James Clyburn, but Jimbo. I call him Jimbo Clyburn. Some of them have been in office for over 30 years. Maxine Waters, I can go over here in California. Her area is being gentrified. These people are cashing in. We need to start voting for progressive people that know what they're doing. John Lewis, I got my ass beat on a bridge. That was a long time ago. I looked at John Lewis, the civil rights icon. I'll give him his props. His record. He has not put forward any legislation for specifically black people. He got Aretha Franklin a Freedom Medal and all this other stuff. But I guarantee you, the Congressional Black Talkers have put forward the DREAM Act. They have dealt with the immigration here in California. I mean, they're pushing all these other issues, but their own people. So,
and a lot of people have said too that the Congressional Black Caucus talkers and a lot of other black senators and elected officials agree with Joe Biden, and they did, but that don't mean it was right. With the crime bill, that don't mean it was right. Charles Rangel, he went along with it. He's big time from New York. He went along with it too. But that just because they're black doesn't mean that they were serving our better interests. And Sydney says Howard Beach notorious for racism. Okay, and Dwight says you are not a puppet. They may find you strongly opinionated on the party system. Democrats are believers of strong government and public service, public health, and public education. Okay,
I'm gonna have to I agree with you and I respect your opinion.
Hey, Pamela.
But here in Democratic California, you tell me any other country where you can be an illegal person and get a driver's license. Then you put a 12-cent tax on the people that we didn't get a chance. We didn't even bother to let us vote for it. And then you're going to, what did they do? They started an investigation on why the gas prices went up. Democrat.
Right. And hey, Pamela, he says, I'm listening to the show every week. I really enjoy the show. And we
really
Pam. Enjoy you being here. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And and Ron, where did Ron's comment go? Where did Ron's comment go? Did I skip Ron's comment?
I don't think so.
I don't want him to say that I deleted his comment or something. I think I skipped past it. No, I'll find it. Yeah. And Arson says, wait, how can anyone in their right mind say it was a long time ago? The comment is pure ignorance. Guys, these people are close to our age. I would like you guys to think about, let's see, something that was long ago, etc., all with the intent to divert from where it belongs while we are trying to shed light on situations that matter. Just saying, let us not forget. And we need people like you and Donovan as candidates. If we had $1 for every time somebody said that. Yes. Y'all don't want us as candidates. Because, people don't want people as candidates to keep it real.
People don't want the truth. I mean,
pie in the sky for you.
Right. I'm here in my community and I'm doing the work. And after doing the work, did I get any support from the Democratic Party? Did I get any work? No. It's a popularity thing because they want me to do their agenda, and I'm not going to do that because I'm about results.
Absolutely. And Tay says, let's be real. Some black people will stick with the status quo because they are afraid to think for themselves. We must stop this way of thinking in order for us to be a real force in this world. Let's see. In this world, we must challenge these candidates and their voting records. I know that I have had enough of these candidates shucking and jiving to black people trying to get their vote. You know, and hey, Jonelle, where you been? And as I and a lot of other people, but a lot of people aren't sick of it. They like that whole, feel good. Oh, some people feel good off of people just telling them stuff. They don't want the action. Well, they said they was going to do it.
Yeah, and let me ask you this. Okay, you're going to vote for Biden, fine. Everybody else has a platform. President Clinton apologized he said it was a mistake. Joe Biden said he got bad medical information.
Yeah.
Now, Joe Biden is running for president. This man feels he doesn't even have to say anything or even cater to you to get your vote.
And he ain't for reparations.
Yeah.
At least he said he hasn't made a stance on it lately.
I mean, at least if you're going to entertain us, I'm gonna get you guys them butter biscuits. Something. He feels that our vote is an automatic.
Right.
Done.
And
he ain't got to promise
says
nothing.
He's questioning strong America. I'm not sure who made that comment. Yeah. And Samuel says, that's right, Dimitri. You're not a puppet. Keep it up, sis. And bruh, the service, saving grace of this community is freedom of speech that they are taking away day by day.
Amen, brother. Whoa.
Thank you.
He hit that.
And Hannah says, bigger question. Why are you a Democrat? I don't have an answer, honestly. Remember, no matter who is in office, the government continues. Where are these comments going? Continues in the same direction. Yeah. Just a different person driving.
But here's the problem. If you know that, what are you doing to change it? That goes to show you this government is not for the majority rules. Why do we have electoral college? If Hillary Clinton got 3 million votes more in the popular vote, what have we been saying on this show from day one? The local level is where your vote means.
Right. In your state.
Yeah. The presidency and stuff, that's just to make you feel good.
Right. And the White says that is not true. Cory Booker won New Jersey to become a senator. I remember that comment. Somebody saying something about he lost or something. But did he lose at first?
I'm not really familiar with New Jersey.
Okay, and then Yah says Ron is correct.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Back up.
Did I?
Yeah. Okay, there it is right there, sir.
That one says Ron is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And the White says, okay, I'm correct about what? Me being a puppet. Oh gosh, okay. I'm trying to keep up with these comments. Okay,
you guys are some woke folks. I got to give it up to you.
And the White says Midwest and Great Plains have 500 tornadoes since March till Memorial Day. That's crazy.
And guess what? They're still using our tax dollars to rebuild. Move, people, move.
Well, they tell us that in California too. And Yah says he's saying, don't forget about we have to do it through a lot of different efforts, putting the right people in office. I agree. We need to put the right people in office. But is Biden that? We know Trump is not that, but why isn't Biden that?
Well, what about this? Okay, we're the voters. We're sending these people in there. Has anybody thought about term limits? The president gets a term limit. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, you got to have some senior people that have been there a while. Okay, if you're going to be a senator, you can only serve 3 terms. That's 18 years.
Right.
If you're a congressman, 10 years, because you have to run every 2 years. What's wrong with that?
Al is trying to fight my battle. He says, sit this one out, babe. Ron, meet me on the dance floor. Keep in mind, I wear size 14. Wait a minute now.
Okay.
Charles says, you won't be calling the names on my watch with your coon-ass Democrat Party worshiping ass.
Wow,
Woo.
yikes.
Woo.
Let's keep it simple, everybody. Let's keep it simple. We're adults here. We're adults.
I mean, the name calling thing is just like, it's ridiculous. Like I said, you're going to call me a name, just back it up. Tell me why you calling me a name. I got a thick skin and I got a lot of it. So that kind of stuff don't bother me. If you're going to call me a name, don't just be immature and call me a name. Right. Say you are a dish rag because
exactly. I mean, Sydney calls me names all the time, but he backs it up with facts and quotes and everything like that. You don't see me getting mad.
Donald says California quakes is a signal to me to return to the of the Mac.
Nah, dog, you got run out of here years ago.
All right, now here we go. Amanda says I'm voting for Biden, not Democrat. Other than the crime bill, what else eliminates Biden?
Sweetheart, you will not be voting for Biden. You will vote for exactly what Ike tells you to vote. All right.
Well, that's a big part of it. Also he said that he wasn't for reparations years ago, and he hasn't made that he's undecided. I guess
he said, "I'll be damned."
He said, "I'll be damned.
I have to pay for something that my father or grandfather did.
I wonder what else do you need? Like, there's a lot of
Besides
black people
me.
is and was in prison for stuff they were over sins. Like, what else do you need? Do you need like a hatchet with blood dripping? I mean, what do you need?
Or think about this: what if Biden does become president and he says, "You know what? We need to be tougher. We need to revitalize the crime bill, and I'm going to repeal what Trump just did, and we're going to make it tougher."
Right. And Dwight says, Donovan, Jim Clyburn is great. John Lewis is an icon. Stop it. What legislation do you want for black people? What are you doing? Are you a lobbyist? It says, are you a lobbyist?
Or voter registrar.
Or voters registrar. 1994, we were young. So go ahead and answer the question. He says, what are you doing? And, that John and Jim are icons.
Well, I'm not taking their icon status from them, like I said, but what have they done since they became icons? That's my question. In the community, I looked at icon John Lewis's record. He has not put forward any legislation. He basically runs on his icon status. Every time you talk to him, look at every interview, ABC, CBS, MSC, CNN, what's the first thing that comes out of his mouth? I was on a John Pettis Bridge and I got my ass beat. I almost lost my life. We are gonna deal with the enemies with love. We're going to change their mind with love. I'm sorry, that is not going to work. It worked maybe in the 64, and even Martin Luther King was losing control. So I'm not taking their icon status away. What I'm saying is 20th century ideas cannot solve 21st century problems.
And I mean, that James Clyburn is a big time Democrat, and I heard him on the radio the other day, NPR, in an interview was trying to get him to commit to whether they're going to impeach or not, and he wouldn't commit to it.
Right.
He kept dancing in circles. So it's
because he's a whipping boy for Nancy Pelosi. I'm sorry. James Clyburn is the only reason he's number 3 is so that when information that is going to be disappointing to the black people of this country needs to be disseminated, it's going to go to him. And he's got to go out there and report it. That's the only reason.
I don't know what happened to my phone. But anyway, we'll keep going here.
Keep going, yeah.
So, that's funny.
It probably reset.
I don't know why it did that, but it did.
But it could be the government resetting
you.
There it is. There it is. You're right back. No, I know you're laughing, but that's a real thing. Facebook and these guys, they try to shut down all this stuff. But for those that are still listening on the podcast, James Clyde, that's the only reason he's number 3. What does a 78-year-old man, what ideas does he have to help millennials get jobs? I don't see them fighting for anything. All the evidence is there. As a black man, he should be saying, "You're damn right, impeach."
Right.
But he doesn't do that. And that's, I mean, you can't tell me 78 years old, what does he care? He's setting himself up and his family up.
Well, I mean, and not only that, I have all these notifications coming on my phone. Sorry about that, you guys. I know we're just out of here anyway. But so anyway, I lost the feed for whatever reason. The feed cut off. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to go come back. I apologize. I don't know what happened. It just cut off. Right.
Next time, make sure you, on that phone, reset that phone and just put Facebook up and then sign out.
Okay. So anyway, we're back. I'm actually going back to you guys' comments. I'm going back to you guys' comments so that I can. I'm going back to you guys' comments. So that's an accident. Sometimes people do that. Mm-hmm. So I can see exactly what it is you guys were saying. So I apologize for that. Wait till you guys get back on here. And so, not to belabor the point, YouTube, I was making a point about James Clyburn when he was saying he didn't know whether they were going to impeach or not. So the people that you guys love, the Democrats, don't even hate Trump as much as you do.
Yeah, Amanda says she might have done it. Sorry. I'll explain later.
You did that?
You don't have to explain that, baby.
Do tell how that might have happened. Yeah, it just kicked me off, so I apologize, you guys. But I'm gonna get back to you guys' comments.
We're gonna answer every question
because I know that you guys, wrote the comments, and so I want to make sure we get them. Obviously, where I left off. Okay, and so I see that. And Ron says, see, you are using the same analogy to describe what I am trying to convey. Let's just support whoever wins the primary. Well,
real quick, Ron. No. Okay. The primaries is whatever. Now, if Biden happens to make it through and I haven't heard anything that he's going to do specifically for reparations and stuff, I might as well stay home. I'm not going to vote. I'd rather stay home because my situation is not going to get any better. Period. Right. It's a transaction. If he's not going to give me something, you're just not going to get my vote. I'm better off staying at home.
Right. And so Sydney says, wait, the most progressive DNC member is AOC. Her district is about to be gentrified.
Yep.
Okay. And then Dwight says, Donovan, do you live in California? Yes, he does. Mm-hmm. And he says, you could be candidates and grassroots activists. There is an agenda. Okay.
I was a candidate at the local level, and they took care of me hands down by well, not hands down, but by undercarding and all the sneakery.
Right.
The woman that won the seat, come to find out 2 years later, she was a bank robber. And that's how they had to do it because, she had that, it's a long story, but basically I fought the law and the Democratic Party, and they used all their resources, and they won. But I gave them a hell of a fight.
Right. And so let's see. Went past. Oh, there's a lot of comments.
No, but let's keep going. Let's go.
Y'all says again, what is our goal? We need to be specific. We have to know how we will get there. Like the discussion about President Obama not doing anything for us is totally valid. Trump is doing what he wants because he has the Congress, Senate, and his voters working toward the same goal. Right. Obama didn't. Our goal is to get a black agenda. What are some of the things that are on the black agenda? Well, at the helm of it is reparations. We want reparations, and we actually want our vote to do something for us. Everybody else gets something for their vote, whether it's gay and lesbians, Hispanics, women, Muslims, and you name it, everybody else.
Illegals.
They get something, but black people are the only ones that just hand over our votes and don't ask nothing for it. Like we're into symbolism.
Yep.
So we need to move the ball. As Donovan said a minute ago, it's going to take us 232 years to catch up to the wealth of white people at the rate we're going. Everyone else has had some sort of infusion to help them boost their economy, and we need the same thing. We got systemic and institutional racism. So there's a lot of things that we have going against us, and having a little bit of money would be nice.
Yes. And all of that come to this country, where do they set up their economic base? In the black community.
Right. And then so Al says, too many technical issues. Just pick up this topic next week. Ron says, the bottom line, just support the Democrat nominee, whoever it is. The White says, reparations are for actual slaves or victims of Jim Crow. People born in the 60s or later had an opportunity, education, vocational training in the military. That's some bullshit. I hate to be disrespectful to White, but that's some bullshit. Because we are still suffering the effects of slavery and Jim Crow, as the people who benefited from slavery and Jim Crow are still getting the benefits from that.
And real quick, is he aware that Jews, through Bernie Sanders, were given reparations, and we didn't do nothing to them?
And Joe Biden signed off and authored a reparations bill for senior citizen Jews that live over here. He gave them millions of dollars, so why don't you guys want money?
Right. I mean, we didn't do nothing to them.
And let's see. And Hannah says, Booker was the mayor of Newark first. He ran twice, lost the first time, and is currently senator. So that's what I thought.
Right.
And Georgie, he says, Democrats all the way. All right.
Okay.
And Dwight says, change the subject. Is Beyonce on the same level as Prince and Michael Jackson? Asking viewers, no.
No.
That was a short question answer. And
Dionne Warwick said that.
And Samuel says, Donovan, we need representatives that are progressive and unafraid to fight for us like the great Adam Clayton Powell, yes. And we need to back him or her. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Behind
but
one candidate.
Unfortunately, our politics is mired by money. You have to have money or you cannot compete.
Right. And Amanda says, who gets the reparations? Well, we get the reparations.
We get it.
Just like everybody else got the reparations or money. That's everybody else. Like, why do we need to even have that discussion of who gets the money? I want my money.
Right. And go back to some of these farmer shows. We even said, we ain't talking about a $50,000 check, because even if we were talking about $50,000, we'll be back next year to get the next check. We'll be back next year to get the check after that. We're not going for a one payment situation, because that would bankrupt the United States completely.
Right.
We're talking trillions of dollars.
Right. And so I'm finished these comments because I got those on there too. And then so let's see. And Cindy says, "Hey, I didn't call you out your name, Donovan. You be throwing rocks." And y'all says, "Then our tax dollars shouldn't go to pay any other group that has faced atrocities. This includes the Jews." Well, it does.
Right, but it does. That's what I'm saying. Common sense, right? But it does.
And then Ron says, "No hypotheticals, please. Just facts, y'all." Okay. And then Amanda says, "Why can't I only see Marcus's comment? I don't know."
Did you pin it?
And then Hannah says, "The best thing we can do is show our voting power via demanding specifics, reparations, crime bill, education, empowerment, etc." Black agenda. And Dwight says they all vote for the welfare recipients. Thank them for the safety net, SNAP, Section 8, Medicaid, and CHIP. No impeaching, no body. You all live in California. Lost sound. Okay. So that was the end of those comments. I'm sorry about that. And so I will get to all of these. I apologize, you guys. In the podcast we're just about done. We're good. I don't know what happened. Amanda says who should get the reparations. So that everybody's asking what happened. Sorry about that.
She got her Trump phone.
And Trump phone. Amanda says she might have done it. She'll explain it later. She might have kicked me off. What had happened? And Tay says, "It's sad when people attack you for speaking facts. Y'all are here to inform the people and give them the real facts for people to learn and form their own opinion. Please keep up the good work." Well, we appreciate it, Tay. I mean, you can't please everybody, right? And so I realize that this is a sore subject. A lot of us we're just 80%. I think 70% of us are Democrats. Us being black people are Democrats, and so we don't know anything else. So a lot of it is just conditioning. But I'm not. If a great Democrat candidate rises, yeah, sure, we vote for them. But we need to stop voting for the same old. Like, don't you ever just sit back and ask yourself, as a black person, it sure would be nice to actually get something this time. Right.
Obama was put in there overwhelmingly by the black vote, and the first thing he did was make sure that those white people were taken care of. He bailed out the Ford plants and everybody, all the people who don't really need to be bailed out. And that's something you need to ask yourself too. They talk about this capitalism. The better product wins. Corporations are capitalists when they're making money, but then they become socialists when their product starts to fail.
Right. And then so Amanda says, what reparations should we get? Well, I like a check.
I mean,
you can give me 40 acres, and I always say a Tesla. That would be nice, or a G-Wagon. You know, I don't want no mule. I mean, I could probably use a mule if I'm a plow the land and stuff.
Andrew Yang addresses reparations by giving a
$1,000 freedom fund, freedom dividend.
A freedom dividend.
Freedom dividend. $1,000. It says $1,000 to $2,000 every month to every adult 18 and over. That in America, I mean, a lot of people can use $1,000 a month.
But remember, reparations is specific to a group. So I like Andrew Yang's thing, but why can't they give us a black dividend?
I agree. And so the White says, we lost your feed for a minute. Donovan, try it again. Actually, Amanda's claiming to be the culprit in this, so I don't know what happened. And Tate says, we must. Why must we concede to who the Democrat candidate is? Why do we have to roll over and be okay with it, right? Because we're black and people just assume that we're supposed to vote.
And I don't have to promise you nothing.
Yeah, because that's the way it's been all this time. I ain't got to give you nothing. Give me your vote. And that to the point that not even gonna lie to you.
Right, and hope for the best. Give me your vote and hope for the best.
Right, just get me in there. You know, why y'all think that they go to all the black churches and where black people hang out
and they get their saxophone and they entertain you
because they know Democrats know they can't win nothing without black people.
Absolutely.
That's a fact. They can't win without us. And right now, I don't care what anybody says, there's a schism going on between black people in politics, where you now have the ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, and the traditional black people, if you will, who are like, I'm just going to vote for the Democrat. No, if it's Kermit the Frog, that's the Democrat. I don't care because it just feels right. But the ADOS movement is like, yo, we need some money now. We need some tangibles. We need something like everybody else gets.
Obama woke us up. And you guys, do you realize this? No legislation could be run through the House. Nancy Pelosi can't push any legislation without the congressional black talkers vote. So even though we're in the minority, we can hold up all legislation. So whoever's the leader of the congressional black talkers says, okay, Nancy, you want to push immigration welfare? What are you going to do for black people? Write it now, give us what we got to do, and we'll vote for your thing. If not, you don't get our vote. But no, they just automatically go
right with it.
Right with it.
And then let's see. You says that makes sense, but my point is, and I think you cut your comment off. I'm sure I'll see it. The White says, "Stop that black agenda. Black people are here. It is done."
Oh wow!
And so, Gloria put up the link, and so I apologize for that, you guys. And then she says to pin it. So that's why you guys see the comment, you guys, because I pinned the comment so people can click on if they like and see what's going on. And y'all says, however, we need to get a strategy to do what you're saying is unlikely to happen in one election.